Hi, Ask the Moms. Thank you again for helping us through our questions. This is Mary, and I'm Josephine, and my first one, her name is Eva. And my question is regarding sleeping habits. Having a challenge, my older one, who's almost 4, to stay in her bed. Every day she wakes up at 1 or 2, and she comes to our bed every single day. We tried to have her stay in her room a couple of times, and she cries and screams, and she's not able to calm down. She ends up waking up Mary. So we are trying to see of any recommendations you guys might have to help us stay in her room through the night without feeling scared. The way that our routine works is we put her to bed like around 8:30, and Dad stays in the room with her, and once she falls asleep, he leaves the room. And then like around 1 or 2, she comes to the room. Again, thank you again for helping us and for answering all the questions you guys have.
Hi, moms.
Hello.
So, with my daughter and my son, I never really had a problem with them getting in our bed, and I think it's because we never really started it. Since they came from the hospital, they both slept in their own beds.
Hey moms whose kids won't stay in bed. This is too funny that this is the question this week because I've had 2 girlfriends of mine mention within like the last couple days that they're dealing with the same thing with their kids staying in bed. Starting out the night isn't bad. It's in the middle of the night they're waking up and they've gotten into a routine of coming into their bed and kind of like what you said, they can't calm down and won't stay in their own beds. I went through something like this with Savannah probably when she was closer to 2, and I set a weekend aside where, if I was dying from lack of sleep, it's not like I had to go to work. And when she would wake up in the middle of the night, instead of bringing her in my bed, I would keep her in her room and I would like tuck her back in, try and calm her down. And I would just stay there till she fell asleep. And it was a long weekend, I'm not going to lie. And it went into part of the next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. But then by Thursday, Friday, she was waking up and she was just rolling back over because she knew she wasn't coming into our room.
This question is a little harder for me, probably because we're dealing with the same thing. Prior to COVID, my son was sleeping in his bed. We got him to do that by paying him to do it. I'm not kidding you. He really enjoys putting money into his piggy bank, and he was learning about coins, so we figured why not make the best of it and pay him to do it. He was sleeping through the night in his room perfectly fine. Then this whole quarantine thing happened, and everything went to shit. So the only thing that we are doing at the moment is making it a little bit more inconvenient for him to sleep with us. So he is not allowed to sleep in our bed. He is allowed to sleep on the floor. He's allowed to sleep on the couch that's in our room, but he is not allowed to sleep in our bed. We're trying to coerce him back into his room.
Sleep challenges are absolutely one of the more difficult parts of parenting because not only are you frustrated, you're sleep deprived. So I suggest consistency. Every time your little one wakes up, put them right back into bed. And also you could try something like an okay to wake clock where the clock turns a different color, usually green, at a specific time that you set. So it's a nice visual cue for your little one to know whether they're supposed to stay in bed or if it's okay for them to get up.
I did have a monitor in their rooms just to check on them. When they went from the crib into the toddler bed, it was a fun experience to try to keep them in their bed because they were able to get out. But I just had the monitor. I would press the button because I was able to talk through the monitor to them. So I would go, get back in that bed. Get back in that bed. I would say, I see you. Get in your bed. And they would run back into the bed, and that was it. I did that for about 2, maybe 3 weeks tops, and that was it, right?
One suggestion that I was given that I am going to be attempting this week is superpower water. Apparently, all you have to do is tell your kid it's superpower water, whether it be Hulk Smash or spidey senses, whatever it is, you tell them that they're going to get that superpower the next day. You do have to follow through with that, by the way, in the morning. But it only works if they go to sleep. So the medicine or whatever you want to call it will not work unless they fall asleep. My friend's husband swears by this, and I will be attempting this week.
So it's one of those things, like a lot of things with small kids, where it's like the repetition. You kind of got to come down hard on them and stick to your guns. But it's tough, and I know it makes for a really long weekend. So good luck to everybody out there. Just keep in mind you're not the only ones going through it. And it can be done. My God, if I can figure anything out along the way, you guys will be just fine. So good luck.
See you